guys want to join my car talk in the Dawn, hit me up, send some messages, and we're gonna pick 2 people. We have 2 spaces in the back seat. So this is the reason why you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, because you get the chance to ride the Dawn as I film the car talk. We're here at the GrowthCon, 10X GrowthCon, and I have Lewis and Billy. We're taking a break.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And we're gonna take out the Dawn here in Vegas, and we're gonna cruise and answer some questions.
Congrats on your property in Nashville. What made you choose there, and what kind of impact would you have if Amazon decides to place their HQ2, their headquarters, in that city?
Hey, that's a great question. So Nashville, I chose that place because in California, the prices are just too high and the ROI doesn't make any sense. When I started, it was good, but prices just have blown up too much, and now you can't get a good deal anymore. You still can if you're starting. You get a 4-unit property, it's better. It's the best thing you could do if you're starting. But right now the prices are peaked out, so it's better in Tennessee. You could find a lot more, you could get more doors for less price, and you're gonna get a way better ROI. And right now, speaking of the companies, a lot of companies are moving their headquarters to Nashville. So it's a city that's growing big, and that's the #1 reason that probably not a lot of people know that I'm moving a lot to Tennessee. So Tennessee is my favorite place right now. I'm probably gonna get most of my 1,000 units that I'm gonna get in the next year in that state, Tennessee. Tennessee is great.
Hey guys, my name is Lewis. So my question for you, Albert, is this. It's more of on a personal note, and I guess it's for more young entrepreneurs who can't find guidance or don't know what to do in certain situations. If you don't mind me asking, when you're stuck in a certain situation where there's only pure negativity welling you down, you know, just pushing down at you, how do you overcome those negative situations? You know, it's very hard to stay positive, but this for the people who don't know how do you do it?
Another great question. So what I did in the last 5 years, I just switched my fish ponds. So what I mean by that is, I used to be in the pond, and I used to be a fish, and I used to be the smartest fish. And all the people around me that surrounded me were giving me negativity, were always complaining. They wanted to hang out with the same losers, and I was fed up with that. And every time I hung out with them, they were telling me how good I was doing, how great I am. I'm Mr. Everything, I'm successful, and they look up to me. And I was tired of hearing that bullshit, because I didn't feel successful. I felt like, hey man, I'm trying to be successful, I'm trying to take it to the next level. These guys were just holding me down because they're so happy. They're complaining about where they are, and they tell me that I'm doing good, and I don't feel like that. So what I did is, I completely changed cities. So I used to work in Pasadena, and I just used to have the wrong people there. And then I moved to Irvine, complete different city, but I started working with people that I didn't know. So I met new people, and that was the start of meeting new people. You never know who you're gonna meet. I met people that were smarter and were more positive than the people I was hanging out with. So I moved to a bigger pond. Then eventually I became the big fish in that pond, and now these people were telling me, hey, you're doing good. How can we be like you? How can we succeed? It was a reminder that, hey, you know what? It's time to jump to the next pond. And I kept jumping to bigger ponds, and you don't necessarily have to give up, and that includes family. But you don't have to like tell your family member, hey, I can't spend time with you. You don't have to tell your best friend from high school, hey, you know what, you're not my friend anymore. But what you could do is you could add more people that are gonna be smarter, more successful. Those people, you're gonna want to spend most of your time with them, so you're just not gonna have a lot of free time to go spend some time at happy hours with your buddy from high school, or spend time with family get-togethers where all they talk about is negativity. Why are you taking those risks, Billy? Lewis, why are you paying $12,000 for your GrowthCon ticket? That's just a waste of money. You could just go and spend that money on something else. You could help your family with that money. You gotta, when you let go of that, even though it's hard, you just want to spend time with more successful people, and you let go of the negative people behind.
Albert, what made you go into the mortgage industry and not the insurance business or some other business that's very similar, that gives those kind of margins?
So I got into the mortgage industry because I first wanted to be a real estate agent, because I saw a lot of real estate agents making good money, because I noticed their cars, their watches, their outfits. I didn't want to go through school for 8 years, 10 years to be a doctor and a lawyer, because I know I identified those two positions, doctors and attorneys. Those people make a lot of money, but it takes 10 years and then you're in debt. So I saw some realtors making a lot of money, and they only had to get a real estate license. So I figured, hey, you know what? I should do this. But the main answer for that is it's all sales. So you got to find a job that pays good commissions, and there's many of them. That's just a vehicle to make some money. So insurances, if you sell a lot of insurances, if you know how to sell, it's all about selling. So if you could sell a lot of insurances, hey, you could blow up like Ed Milet, like Patrick and David. They're in that business. And mortgages, real estate, those are two other vehicles that make you a good amount of money with getting big commissions if you know how to sell. So selling cars is another one. You just have to pick a vehicle that's gonna get you rewarded a big commission and go with it. Commit to it, and if you commit to whatever vehicle you choose, you're gonna do great. But it's not mortgages that's better, it's not insurances that's better, it's not selling cars that's better. Anything is good as long as you commit to it. But it's all about, it's gonna come down to, if you can't master selling, then you're not gonna do good in anything. You're not gonna get girls, you're not gonna get a good spouse, you're not gonna get you're not gonna be able to close on good opportunities that come to you, because selling is the key. So you have to master sales to start.
Now let's say for the people who do want to do real estate, but they're iffy about it, they think that education is important at the same time, but they're more sales motivated at the same way you are, the same way I am. What would you recommend to the people who want to go to school but want to do a business at the same time but can't decide to do so, even though they were born to think that school is important, they were raised to think that school is important, you know, in order for you to be successful? What would you say to those people?
Those people, there's nothing wrong with going to school. Patrick, the David, he actually wanted to go to school, and he wanted to go to a good university. He needed to make some money quick. He got into the insurance business by accident. He found out that his passion was to be an entrepreneur. Like he said it before, his success came by accident. He always wanted to go to the university, but he didn't have that opportunity. So what he did is, he became really successful with his insurance business. He blew up with PHP. And then what he did is, recently, he went back to school and he got a degree in his in university of his dreams. I think it's Princeton. I think it's Princeton, or I could be wrong though, but it's one of those big universities. It was a business degree. So he went back, he got it, and that was just like a personal goal. He got his certificate, and hey, it was a great accomplishment. And there's nothing wrong, because there's a lot of people that go to school and are successful. So it's just a matter of what's your why, what's gonna fill you. So if going to school and taking that route, and I mean, you just have to make sure that you pick a good career, and you got to be smart about that. And as long as that's your passion, that makes you happy, then I think you should go for it, because there's no point of being unhappy and just being forced to do things that are not going to fill you. Because at the end of the day, like what are you going to do when you're not here anymore, when you're dead? Like what Ed Milet said earlier, if you die tomorrow, are you happy with where you are so far in life? Go for it, and just be really careful about the career you pick, because worst thing you want to do is pick a career that's not going to pay you enough to support your family and your kids. And a lot of people make that mistake. They go to school for a long period of time, and they get in debt, and then they pick a career that is not going to pay off their debt in their lifetime, and then they end up doing something else. So that would be my best advice for school.